Hello, this is Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE-TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our top story today comes from the Ypsilanti Courier and writer Crystal Elliott. The Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a new phone scam making the rounds that was reported earlier this week. The caller has been telling victims that they missed federal jury duty in an attempt to scam $500 from them. On September 7th, an Ann Arbor Township resident reported that they received a phone call on their home telephone from someone identifying themselves as Washtenaw County Sheriff Officer Frank Lewis, badge number 7642 with the Washtenaw County Warrants Division. According to a report from WCSO, the person on the phone told the resident that his wife, which the caller identified by name, was sent a summons for federal jury duty on a past date and that his wife had failed to show. The caller said that a citation was issued against her and gave the resident two options. The caller said that the resident could appear before a judge, which they identified with the name of a local magistrate, to get a new court date or exemption, or they could purchase a Green Dot money pack from a drugstore and put $500 on the card. The resident asked the caller if he could speak with his commander, and the caller gave the phone to another person. The resident asked why they were calling on a Sunday. The second subject responded that a lot of people did not respond to the summons, so they have to call on Sunday, WCSO stated in a report. The resident was given a callback number and was told to call once he purchased the money card and scratched to reveal the 14-digit number. Once he got to the drugstore, the resident became suspicious of the call. Our resident went to Walgreens and confirmed that money packs exist, but he became suspicious and did not follow through on the scam, WCSO reported. More on this story can be found on the local newsfeed link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, how today's internet slowdown is supposed to work.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Welcome back. This is Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE-TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our next story today comes from the Washington Post and writer Nancy Scola. Wednesday, forces aligned in favor of stronger net neutrality rules will rally under the banner of Internet Slowdown Day, the latest push to funnel the public's attention to the Federal Communications Commission's ongoing rulemaking on open Internet principles and practices. First things first, Slowdown Day will not feature any actual slowing down of the Internet. The reason it won't? The same reason why this is a fascinating moment in the history of Internet activism. Companies participating in the protest, like Vimeo, Etsy, and Reddit, have become the digital infrastructure of the Internet age. Slowing down their services is likely to anger their audiences, not to mention, in some cases, their shareholders. In other words, they've become essential, too big to slow. But that also gives them enormous power. They have the ability to draw millions upon millions of eyeballs to the spinning loading icon that will be featured on their sites. A loading cat icon that net neutrality proponents say can be used to indicate their support for Title II reclassification. That spinning logo is one way that websites and web users will be participating. Another is changing one's avatar on Twitter or Facebook or what have you to the icon. The hope is that the action will spread like a contagion if one given a little push. That spinning logo is one way that websites and web users will be participating. Another is changing one's avatar on Twitter or Facebook or what have you to the icon. The hope is that the action will spread like a contagion if one given a little push. Commit, the campaign is asking of its allies to getting one person or company with a bigger reach than you to join in as well. More on the story can be found on the local newsfeed link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, defense attorney plans to use a self-defense plea for Howell man accused of road rage murder. Welcome back. This is Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE-TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our next story today comes from the Detroit Free Press and writer Lisa Roos Church. The lawyer representing a motorist charged with murder in a road rage incident last week near Howell says she will argue self-defense when the case goes to trial. But defense attorney Melissa Pierce, at a press conference this morning, declined to release details on why or what happened that fatal day that leads her to believe self-defense is appropriate. The whole story has not been heard, she said. Martin Edward Zale, 69, is charged with open murder in connection with the September 2nd road rage incident that left Derek Fleming, a 43-year-old father of two, dead in the middle of Grand River Avenue in Genoa Township. A court hearing for Zale, who is being held without bond, was adjourned this morning until October 7th to allow the defense time for discovery. We ask that the public act responsibly and wait for the court and judicial system to run its course, Pierce said after today's hearing. The family of Mr. Zale is confident that once the entire story with the facts and evidence in this case has been heard in the courtroom before an impartial jury, that jury will return the right verdict. Authorities said Zale's 2012 Dodge Ram pickup passed Fleming's 2014 Ford Escape and cut in front of Fleming in the left-hand lane of Grand River Avenue as both traveled east around 3:35 p.m. on September 2nd. When the two men reached the Chilson Road intersection and stopped at the red light, Fleming got out of his SUV and walked up to Zale's pickup. Fleming, who was not armed with any weapons and he did not make any verbal threats, was shot and killed by a single gunshot to the face, authorities said. Zales also is charged with discharging a pistol from a vehicle and 2 counts of possessing a pistol in the commission of the murder and the firing of the pistol. More on this story can be found on the local newsfeed link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, Grand Rapids area Christian radio host pleads guilty in child rape case.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Welcome back. This is Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE-TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our next story today comes from the Detroit Free Press and writer Trace Christensen. A former Grand Rapids Christian radio host pleaded guilty Tuesday to raping an 11-year-old boy in Battle Creek. John Richard Ballio, 35, pleaded guilty to first-degree criminal sexual conduct in the May 17th assault in a Beckley Road motel room. He faces a minimum of 25 years in prison and could be sentenced to a maximum of life. Ballio also faces a minimum of 15 years in prison after pleading guilty in July in U.S. District Court to sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. He will be sentenced there November 6th and in Calhoun County on November 10th. The sentences will be served concurrently. Ballio, dressed in an orange Calhoun County jail uniform, appeared with his attorney, David Dodge, before Circuit Judge Conrad Sent. He told the judge he'd met the 11-year-old boy and the child performed oral sex on Ballio. Ballio described the act to Judge Sent as part of the plea. Ballio said another man was in the room at the time, and investigators have alleged that Ronald L. Moser of Battle Creek provided children for sexual acts with Ballio. Moser also has pleaded guilty in federal court to possession of child pornography and sexual exploitation of a child and faces up to 40 years in prison when he is sentenced November 14. More on this story can be found on the local news feeds link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, Ann Arbor is named one of the 12 best U.S. cities for retirement. Welcome back. This is Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from the WDEE-TV studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our final story today comes from Yahoo Finance and PR Newswire. 24 U.S. cities have been identified as the best retirement destinations by Consumers Digest. The list was generated by a formula into which 12 pieces of data were entered. Among the 24 cities that are recognized, the 12 that rose to the top are, in alphabetical order, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Gainesville, Florida, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Missoula, Montana, Morgantown, West Virginia, Provo, Utah, Stillwater, Oklahoma, Syracuse, New York, and Temple, Texas. Consumers Digest, by the numbers, the best U.S. cities for retirement, is included in the publication's September issue. The 12 criteria that were scrutinized include a city's cost of living compared with the national average, median home price, median rental price, combined city-state sales tax, median household income, job growth, rate of violent crime, hospitals per capita, public colleges per capita, the health ranking of the state in which the city is located, the state's physicians per capita, and so-called walkability. Consumers Digest constrained its evaluation to cities that have a population of at least 30,000 and at most 500,000. Cities that are smaller than 30,000 typically have limited services, and those that are larger than 500,000 exceed national averages in cost of living and crime rates. The formula didn't take into account subjective factors such as climate. The 12 criteria are at least 4 more than that which any of 9 prominent entities that publish lists of retirement cities take into account. The The research supporting our retirement destinations feature is substantial, balanced, and thorough. It offers people a unique blend of facts and figures mixed with practical advice designed to identify a select class of retirement destinations, Consumers Digest publisher Randy Weber says. Recognizing that any list of best U.S. cities for retirement might not include a city that appeals to or works for everyone, Consumers Digest produced the companion piece, Priorities and Preferences: How to Choose a Great Retirement Destination. The article examines owning versus renting, as well as important elements for those who decide to retire in the place where they currently reside. More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. This has been Jzaniece Smith for WDEE-TV Headline News. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful evening.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.